Hello everyone. Good morning. Okay, good morning everyone. So I think I'm audible and visible to all of you, right? Good morning, good morning, good morning everyone. Good morning Abhishek. Then person who have joined through a number 7651. Amrendra, good morning. Raghu, good morning. Deepak, Mahesh, Rishabh, good morning. Good morning all. Krishnamurti, good morning. So I think I'm audible and visible, right? To all of you. So if you can ping me, yes. Otherwise, you can try to refresh. So let me type good morning, all. Okay. So fine, guys. I think we can start. So, okay. So with respect to okay, so basically there is a issue with your video, guys. Yesterday we have taken 5 classes. Out of that, 4 classes videos are working fine. You can go and check. But in your class, so there is some issue, and I believe you must be able to see there is an error in a video. So basically, we are transcoding that video, and it's taking some time to process that video. But in all the other classes, videos are available within 30 minutes to 40 minutes. But yeah, there is some issue with your video, so we are just looking into that issue, and we'll try to fix it. Yeah. So yesterday's video, I believe you will not be able to access so far, but yeah, we'll make sure that it is available. We're trying our best from our side. So yeah, Lasmin. She or he is saying that trying to watch yesterday's class recording, but it's showing error. Yeah, actually there is a error. There is a error basically. So we are trying to do a transcoding because what happens is we do a live stream after live streaming. So we try to transcode those videos in a DRM system and then we try to put up those videos, and there is some error. So still in my system, it's showing that it's processing. For all the other classes, it has been processed, but yeah, just for this single class, so it is showing an error. Yeah, not for any other classes. Okay, shall we start class, guys? Yeah, shall we start? Okay, fine, guys. Let's start. So let me share my screen and then let's get started. So I think my screen is visible. Let me change the folder. This is Python Hindi. So let me change it to Python English. Python English batch. Okay. Okay. So yesterday, basically, we were talking about data type and we discussed about indexing and a slicing operation with respect to a string. And then we talked about indexing and slicing operation with respect to a list. And then we were talking about tuples, and we have seen that how tuples is different from a list in terms of mutability and immutability. This is something that we have already discussed. So today class is going to be a continuation of a previous class, yesterday's class basically, and I believe I have given you some sort of a class work, and hope all of you are trying to do this particular class work without taking any kind of a help from an AI. So please try to do this particular class work without taking any kind of a help, means any kind of a help from any AI, whether it's a Euron Assist or GPT or maybe a Gemini or any other AI tool which is available in a market. Please make sure of it, guys. Okay. So now let's get started with today's class. Let me create a file. And I believe some of you were saying that I just received a ping from some of you that yesterday's resources, when you are trying to download, so it was showing you in a JSON format, right? By default, Jupyter Notebook, if you are trying to open it up inside a browser, it is going to show you everything in a JSON format. You have to download it because it's a IPYNB file. It's not a normal file or like a TXT file or some other files. So you have to download it and then open it up inside your Jupyter Notebook, or maybe inside your VS Code where you have a Jupyter Notebook extension, or maybe you can try to open it up inside a Google Colab. Then only you will be able to see the actual file, right? Because it's a IPYNB file, and that's a problem. Yeah. Hi there, no sound. Please try to, you have a sound control, Mohammed. So I think you will be able to get a sound. And I believe I'm audible to everyone. That's the reason so we are able to communicate, right? Lasmin, unmute the sound. Yeah. And please try to help your fellow batchmates. By default, no sound while starting. You need to unmute from a left button. Yes, there is a sound control which we have already given to you. There is a pause control, there is a sound control, there is a streaming control, resolution control we have given to you. There is a full screen control that we have given to you inside your live stream itself. So from there you can control each and everything. Okay. So fine, let me create a new file, guys, for today. So today is basically 8th December and we are going to see a data operation dot IPYNB file. So again, I'm repeating, if you are trying to open up this IPYNB file in a browser, so while downloading, it is going to show you everything in a JSON format. And yesterday, some of you have sent me a screenshot saying that I am not able to see it. Let me show you that part. So this is the live class which is going on, and let's suppose this is the 7th December, right? So I'm going to download the resources. So this is how you will be able, some of you are able to see it. So technically you have to download this file, simple, because it's a IPYNB extension, as you can see in a tab itself. And today, just to make your life bit easier, so today what I'm going to do is, so I'm going to zip the file, and then zip file I'm going to share with you so that you can download it directly, because some of you are facing issue with the IPYNB, and you people are getting, some of you are getting confused, not all, that what is happening. I'm not able to see the actual one, right? So nothing is happening actually, everything is normal. The only thing is you're trying to open it up in a browser. Okay, sir, how to download the resources? It directly open in a browser. No, you can, from a browser itself, you will be able to see a download button. Click on download in every browser, whatever browser you are using, whether it's a Safari or Chrome or Mozilla, everywhere in a browser itself, it gives a download option. Otherwise, what I will do is, so I'll try to wrap up today's file and yesterday's file together and upload it as zip. So you can download it as a zip inside your system. So let's get started, guys. So till yesterday, I talked about a list, I talked about a string, I talked about a tuples, basic tuples. So how to declare a tuples, what is a definition of a tuples, how tuples is different from a list. And then I talked about how I will be able to do an indexing and slicing operation with respect to a list, with respect to a string. Now, let's try to understand a set and dictionary as a data type, which is available inside a Python. And then again, I will come back to a string and I'll try to show you inbuilt function, inbuilt methods, which is already available with respect to a string, which is already available with respect to a list or tuples and so on. So let's try to understand what is set and dictionary first, and then again go back to a basic string, list, tuples, and so on. So this back and forth so that you will be able to understand each and everything altogether. Not able to unmute the button. No, I think unmute is already available. Everyone is able to unmute it, Muhammad. I don't know why you are facing an issue, because that button is already visible to every one of us. Even I can see that. Now here, so let's suppose if I have a variable, let's suppose if I'm trying to declare a variable with the help of this curly braces, open and close curly braces. So if I'm going to check what is a type of this S. So by default, system is going to tell me that type of this variable, which I have declared with the help of curly braces, is basically a dictionary. This is what system will be able to understand if there is no data. If there is no data inside this particular variable, which I have declared with the help of curly braces. But let's suppose if I'm trying to create another variable s1 and curly braces, if I'm going to put some sort of a data, maybe a string, maybe a integer, maybe a floating point number, whatever it is. Now, if I'm going to check a data type, what is the type of this data s1? What is the type of this data s1? It is going to tell me that it's a set data type, right? It's a set data type. So we have discussed about a list, and list we can try to declare with the help of a square bracket. We talked about a tuple, and tuple we will be able to declare with the help of normal bracket or simple parenthesis. Now there is another data type called as set, and set you all will be able to declare with the help of curly braces. Now if there is a data, it will be able to identify as a set. If there is no data, if it's blank, in that case it will be able to identify as a dictionary. Now why we are talking about set? Because even in case of a list, I will be able to store every kind of a data. Even in case of a tuples, I will be able to store every kind of a data. And even in case of a set, obviously I will be able to store every kind of a data. For example, so here, let's suppose I'm going to create S2, and I can try to keep maybe some sort of a integer, maybe a floating point number I can try to keep. Maybe I can try to keep some sort of a complex number over here, some sort of a Boolean variable I can try to keep. Maybe I can try to keep some sort of a string over here, and it is going to work fine for me. It is not going to give any kind of a issue. S2 if I'm going to call, so yes, every kind of a data is already available inside my set. All the data, whatever data which I have mentioned over here. So yes, every kind of a data set is available inside a set. Now how set is different and why people have included this kind of a data structure inside Python? Let me show you that part. So S3, again new variable I'm going to take, and here let's suppose if I'm going to take this kind of a data where we have lot of repetition. As you can see, we have 5 5 5 5 5 5 5 55 twice we have. So we have a repetition of a data. Now when I'm trying to keep all of this data with a repetition, and now if I would like to see what is a data available inside my S3. As you can see, it has removed all the duplicate. Yeah, I think Mohammed is able to unmute. Yes. Yeah, so this is, every control is given to you guys. I think system is quite simple. Yeah, just there is a problem with yesterday's video. Only yesterday's video, and that too in your class, we have faced that kind of a issue. For other classes, there is no issue. So if you will go and check, so yesterday's recordings are already available. Live class recordings are already available in all the other classes, but there is some issue that we are facing with your class transcoding. So video transcoding is giving us some sort of a issue. Yeah. Okay. So here S3, right? S3 data set that you are able to see in your screen. So technically set is nothing but an unordered collection of unordered, right? So set is nothing but unordered collection of an unique element. So by default, what set does is it will try to remove all the duplicates. Whatever duplicates that you have inside your data set, it will be able to remove by default every kind of a duplicate that you have, right? This is where set comes into a picture. For example, let's suppose I'm trying to read out the book. I'm trying to read the complete book inside Python by using a Python programming language. Now, obviously there will be a repetition of punctuation. There will be a repetition of so many words again and again, A, I, O, U, all those words, right, will be repeated again and again and again. Now, if someone is asking me a question that, can you please try to remove all the duplicates, right, after reading out the books, I'm just looking for a unique element inside the book. What you can do is read the book, pass the entire data inside a set, and automatically set will remove everything. Set will remove all the duplicates. It will only try to keep a single copy or unique element inside a final result. As you can see, I have passed so many data set over here, right? But when I'm looking into the outcome, it is not holding all the data which was available inside S3. It is just trying to hold a unique data. This is where set comes into a picture. Simple. This is the property of a set. Now, let's suppose if I would like to perform an indexing operation with respect to set, means from an index 0, if I would like to access the data, will I be able to access, guys? Yes? Will I be able to access the data? Anyone? in a chat. I'm trying to perform the indexing operation just like I have done this operation for list and for a tuples. So let's suppose if I'm writing S3 of 0, you can do it. You can do it in your system, right? You can do it in your system. So S3 of 0. Now you will be able to see that it is giving me an error. Set object is not subscriptable. Simply means that I will not be able to perform indexing operation. I will not be able to perform a slicing operation directly on a set. Simple. Because it's an unordered collection of a data. Unordered means indexes are not defined. Ordered means indexes are defined. So set is by default an unordered collection of the data. Because of that, I will not be able to perform any kind of an indexing operation, or I will not be able to perform any kind of a slicing operation with respect to a set. Simple. Now, if I have to perform indexing and slicing operation, then I'll have to do a typecasting operation. Means I'll have to convert my set into a list or maybe into a tuples, and then only I will be able to perform that operation. For example, if I have to convert this S3 into a list, how I will be able to do it? Let's see. So let's suppose I'm creating a list L2, right? L3, let's suppose I'm going to create list L3, and what I can do is I can try to call list as a function. I can try to pass S3 inside a list. Simple. Now if you'll go check L3, here is a data. Means whatever data that we have inside a set, now I'm converting that S3. Now I'm converting that set into what? Into list. And now I will be able to perform all kind of operation that we have already performed with respect to a list. Because now it's a list, right? Now it's a list. And whatever property list holds, you will be able to execute, you will be able to exercise all those properties on top of this particular data. So set to list, I will be able to convert easily. Let's suppose I have a list L4, right? I have a list L4, and inside a list I have so much of data, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 9, something like this I have. Yes, something like this I have. Okay. Now, if someone is asking me a question that please try to remove all the duplicates, please try to remove all the duplicates from this particular list L4. Okay, not an issue. I'll do a simple type conversion. I can try to convert this one into a set, and I will be able to remove each and every duplicates out of this particular list L4. How? It's again simple. So maybe I can try to create a variable S4, set4, and inside that I can try to call set as a function. So set as a function is already available. I can try to, it's an inbuilt function. I can try to pass my list. So this is my list. I'm trying to pass this list inside a set. I'm just trying to do a typecasting operation over here, converting one type to another type. And then if I'm going to check S4, all the duplicates are removed. All duplicates are removed. It's available in a format of set. You can try to call type, and you can even check a type. Although it's visible, right? It's visible with the help of curly braces. It's already visible in front of all of us. So this is how I will be able to remove all the duplicates. Again, if I have to convert it back into a list, I can convert it back into a list, right? So simple list, and then inside that I can try to pass this particular data, and it will be able to convert. So inside list function, I can try to pass this S4, and it's converted back into a list. And whatever operation that we were able to perform with respect to a list, now I can perform all those operations based on this particular data. So set to list, list to set, possible. Set to tuples, tuples. Let's suppose I have S4, right? I have this S4. I have to convert this S4 into a tuples, immutable data type, because tuples hold the property of immutability. I think we have already discussed about it in my studies class. So here, what I can do is, so maybe I can try to like call tuples as a function. I can try to pass my S4, and now I'm able to convert my data into a tuples. Simple, right? So tuple to set, set to tuple, list to set, set to list. All these conversions are possible just with the help of these methods. List method, tuple method, or maybe with the help of set method, I will be able to do all those typecasting or type conversion I will be able to perform. Simple. So this is all about a set. So set is nothing but it's a unordered collection of a unique element. So you can pass anything. There is no restriction. You can pass anything, but it will never hold a duplicate data. Automatically, it will try to remove the duplicacy out of your particular data set. Now here, let's suppose if I'm going to create S5 and inside S5, I have SUDH in capital and then I have SUDH in a small. I'm going to execute it. Now, if you're going to check S5, it is holding both the data. Now, you will ask me a question that why it is not removing this SUDH, because we have SUDH twice inside my set. The reason is Python is a case sensitive language. Simply means that it always try to treat uppercase. So here we have uppercase, right? Here we have uppercase. So it will always S is in uppercase, and here we have S is in a lowercase. So uppercase and lowercase is a different data for a Python. And because of that, it is trying to hold both of it. It is not removing SUDH out of it. Fine? Yes? So in set, whether the data is stored by default, I'm not able to get a question. Stingable. Okay, so this is how set you will be able to create, and then set simply means that remove all the duplicates. Okay, so in set, whether data is sorted by default? No, not at all. Like I said, set is a unordered collection. It looks like, right? In every class, I used to say the same word. It looks like in a first place that set is trying to order my data, right? It looks like maybe here you must have like received a feeling that it is ordering the data, but no. Set is a unordered collection of the data. Let me show you that example as well. I'm going to create a new set data S6, and here I'm going to put up this kind of a data, maybe 4, 5, 6, 7, 7, 4, 3, 2, 34.67, and then SUDH, Euron, SUDH, Euron, and then maybe some Boolean variable, true, and maybe I can try to store a false. Execute. Now, if I'm going to show you S6, do we have a ordered data, guys? Do we have a ordered data in an outcome? Yes or no? Do we have a sorted data? No, right? Like I said, set is a unordered collection of unique data. That's the actual definition of a set. It looks like, right, when I'm trying to pass just an integer, it looks like that it is trying to sort the data, but no, it is not sorting the data, and it is not keeping any kind of a order inside it. So this is what you will be able to get as a sense from a set. As you can see, we have 2, 3, then we have 34, then we have a 4, and then we have 45.67, then we have 5, 6, 67, and then 7. It is not available in a ordered way. So set is a unordered collection of the data, right? But it looks like, when I saw the first example, so people always tell me in every classes, it happens. Even in Hindi class, it has happened that people was telling me that we are able to see the ordered collection of the data. No, it's not an ordered collection of the data set. List is a ordered collection. So see, list is basically, it will always try to store the data as it is. The way you are going to give a ordered, it is going to keep the data again in the same order. It is not going to perform a sorting operation in ascending or descending order, unless and until you are not going to call the function, right? So by default, list is not going to perform any such operations. By default, it is going to show you the same order in which you have written the data. Simple. In case of list, or even in case of a tuples. But in case of a set, as it removes the duplicate and it tried to provide the random orders internally, so it's a unordered one. Okay, now moving ahead. Here we have another data type called as dictionary. Now what is dictionary, by the way, right? What is dictionary, by the way? Can you tell me why 99 came first instead of 4 in S4? Because it's an unordered one, right? Unordered one. See, you are trying to do a type conversion, right? You are trying to do a type conversion in general, right? You are trying to do a type conversion. So basically, this is the unordered one. When you are trying to convert this data into a list, right? So it will try to allocate a respective indexes. Okay, it will try to this, because here we don't have any kind of indexes. In case of a set, like I have already shown you, that you will not be able to perform any kind of a indexing operation or slicing operation. The reason is very simple, that there is no 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 or something like that, or -1, -2, -3, something like that in case of set. When you are trying to convert it into a list, randomly it will try to pick and choose the data, and then it will start assigning the indexes, because list holds the indexes, right? Tuples holds the indexes. Simple. Yep. Okay. Now, coming to the next part. So there is another data type called as dictionary. Now, what is dictionary? So I believe we all have gone through a Oxford dictionary in our childhood. Not for those who are like a 2000s born kid. So those who are 1990s kids, right? So we all have gone through those dictionaries, because at that point of a time we were not having an access of Google or simple mobile with the big screen or something. So we used to search a meaning of the word inside a dictionary. We try to go through a ascending order, in an alphabetical order, and then we try to search the word, and then we try to find out the respective meaning of the word, right? So basically, dictionary in a layman way, or dictionary in a real life, is nothing but it's a combination of word and its meaning, right? That is the meaning of the dictionary that we used to understand, right? Those who are like coming from that background. Now, in case of programming, in case of Python, we have a dictionary as a collection, where we can try to store a data with the help of key value, key value, key value kind of a pair. Now, what is the meaning of this key and value pair? Let me explain you that part. So here, dictionary signature is going to be curly braces. Even for set, signature is going to be curly braces. In case of set, it tries to store the flat data set. Now, in case of a dictionary, it always tries to hold a key value pair. Key value means, for example, let's suppose if I'm trying to store my name. Okay, let's suppose if I'm trying to store my name, Sudhanshu. So what I have to do is I have to write name as a key and then value as a Sudhanshu. Fine. Let's suppose if I'm trying to store maybe a class. So this class is nothing but, this class is Python English 8:45 a.m. IST class, basically, right? So class is nothing but it's a key. This one is nothing but it's a value. Simple. Now execute. If I'm going to check, so key and a value, key and a value. So in key value fashion, so we are trying to store the data, where key we are trying to define and value we are trying to define. Now, here, let's suppose if I have to access Sudhanshu, which is a value, right? Which is a value. Sudhanshu I have to access. So can I say that I will be able to access it with the help of indexes 0? D of 0 I have written over here. Lakshmi is saying, yes, still I have a dictionary. Okay, that's great. Okay, so will I be able to access the data, guys? D of 0. Deepak is saying no. Abhishek is saying no. Okay, Rishabh, almost everyone is saying no. Okay, execute it. Execute. Now, I'm getting an error. It is telling me that it's a key error, right? It's a key error. Now, what is the meaning of this key error, by the way? It is telling me that there is a key error 0. I have written 0 over here, right? It is telling me that there is a key error 0. It simply means that I'm not able to find out any such key inside this D as 0. In case of list, for example, let's suppose I'm taking a simple normal list, right? Now, can I make a statement over here that by default system try to assign a key to every element 0, 1, 2 in this way? Can I say in case of dictionary in a layman way, just for the analogy? Yeah. Can I say that by default it try to define the key? So whenever we say L of 0, it gives us 3. Whenever we say L of 1, it gives us 4. Whenever we say L of 2, it gives us 5. Or maybe -1, -2, -3, right? Maybe in a forward order or maybe in a backward order. So in case of list, same thing happens in case of tuples. Same thing happens in case of a string. So by default, system is trying to define a key, and in a technical term, we used to call that as a indexes. In a technical way, we try to call it as a indexes. In a list or maybe a string or maybe in tuple, this 0, 1, 2 is what? It's a indexes. We used to call that as a indexes, but it's not us who is defining this 0, 1, 2. System by default try to define all of these indexes, right? Now, in case of dictionary, we are the one, right? We are the one who is defining our name of the indexes. You can say, maybe just for the understanding purpose, I'm telling you this, right? That in case of dictionary, we are the one who is trying to do what? Giving a name of our indexes, and it could be anything. In case of list or in case of a tuples, we don't have any kind of a control over the indexes. 0, 1, 2, 3, it's a standard approach which system try to follow. But in case of dictionary, we are the one who is trying to define our indexes. You can try to understand in that way. So when you're trying to understand the dictionary, so try to understand in that way that in case of dictionary, we are the one who is trying to define our own index name. Maybe I can try to keep it as a 0. That's completely fine. Maybe I can try to keep it as a XYG name. That is completely fine. And then a respective value. And in a later stage, I will be able to access this data. This is the data, or maybe this data I will be able to access how? By calling a indexes. Index for this Sudhanshu is what? Name by default, not 0. In case of list, yes, it was 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. But in case of dictionary, it's technically a name that we are talking about. Okay, fine. So now here we have a dictionary. If I have to access a name, if I have to access Sudhanshu, I have to write what? D of name. The way we were writing L of 0, L of 1, L of 2, or L of minus 1, 2, 3, whatever. So here I'm writing D of name, and yes, I'm able to get this data. Maybe I can try to write D of a class, right? I'm able to get the respective data. So this is how you will be able to create a dictionary, and this is how you will be able to store a data inside a dictionary. And analogy wise, yes, this is how you can try to interpret. Now, coming to the next part, I'll create another dictionary here. Now, what I will do is, so maybe 0, and here at 0, I can try to maybe create a list. I can do whatever I want. Maybe I can try to create XYG, and here I can try to keep maybe a tuples. Now, maybe here I can try to keep maybe ABC, or not ABC, I'll say. Maybe I can try to keep a true over here, just a boolean. And then I can try to define maybe a set element over here with the repetition of the data, right? Maybe I can try to keep another key, company name, and then I can try to define basically Euron. Euron is a brand name. Company name is Engage Sphere. Now company name. Now company name is fine, and then like a class, let's suppose class, and maybe I can try to define a class inside a list. We have so many classes, so Python, Hindi, and English. Yeah, so Python, Hindi, and English, and then we have Gen AI, Hindi and English, which we have started yesterday. Gen AI, Hindi, and English, which we have started yesterday. And then we have also started ML Ops, English. Okay, so this is the data set that I have prepared. Now, if I'm going to show you D1, this is how D1 looks like. 0 is a key. 0 is a key, right? This is a key. This is what? A value. XYG is a key, its value. True is a key, its value. Company name is a key, Euron is a value. Classes is a key. This entire list is a value. Simple. So as you can see that somewhere I'm taking an integer as a key, somewhere I'm taking a string as a key, somewhere I'm taking boolean as a key, somewhere I'm taking again a string as a key, string as a key. So here I'm trying to define my own key in my own way. The way I want, I'm just trying to write it down. Simple. And even value wise, somewhere I'm defining a list, somewhere I'm defining a tuples, somewhere I'm defining a set, somewhere I'm defining a list. It's completely fine. It's working, right? It's working. So dictionary always gives you a flexibility by which you will be able to define a key and a value in your own way. Simple. In your own way, you will be able to define a key and a value, and you will be able to even access it. For example, if I have to access this tuple, right? if I have to access this particular tuple, what I can do? So D1, and then I can try to write X, Y, G. I'm able to access this particular tuple, right? I'm able to access this particular tuple. Let's suppose I'm looking for this particular list. What I can do is I can write a D1 and then I can give 0. I'm able to access this particular list because 0 was a key name which I have given. Let's suppose if I'm trying to access this set, right? So maybe I can try to write D1 and then I can try to write true over here. I'm able to access the set. Now, one more thing, right? When I have given a data inside a set, there was a repetition. There was a repetition. By default, without even asking me, it has removed all the duplicate, as you can see. So whatever I'm going to keep it inside a curly braces, it is removing the duplicate. So whatever data I'm trying to declare as a set, it will automatically remove all the duplicates for me. Making sense, guys? Could you please share the code? You want this code, guys? D1? Okay, let me ping you in a chat. This one. Fine? Yes? Type it, guys. Typing speed you have to increase. So you have to train your fingers that without even thinking how you can write the code. Okay? Because see, coding is not about learning anything. It's all about practice. Believe me, it's all about practice. And if you're practicing with me for next 1 or 2 months, I'm not saying that you will be pro in a coding, but yes, I can say that you will be very much comfortable and you will be able to touch any projects. Simple. So this is the label that you all have to achieve inside this class. Okay, so I'm able to access all of this data based on the key which I have given. So I'm just giving a key name and yes, I'm able to just access the data. That's it. Now, so this is fine. I'm able to access the data. Now let's suppose I'm going to take a D1 itself, right? I'm going to take a D1 itself. Now I'm going to write another key XYG. Okay, another key XYG. And this time the value of XYG is basically Euron. Let's suppose, or maybe I can give my own name, SUDHANSHU. Fine. So value of this XYG is basically Sudhanshu. Now I'm going to see what is the data which is available inside this D1. Now we have a XYG over here and we have a XYG over here. We have XYG twice as a key. As a key, we had XYG twice over here. In case of dictionary, your key should always be unique. Always, right? Your key is supposed to be unique. Dictionary is not going to give you an error if you have a duplicate key. As you can see over here, that when I was trying to create this D1, I have XYG as a key over here and I have a XYG key over here. So both the places we have a same XYG key. Again, it's a case sensitive. Again, if you are going to keep it in a capital or small way, you will try to treat it differently because Python is a case sensitive language. But if let's suppose case wise, it's fine, all in lower case. And we have a XYG over here, we have a XYG over here. It is not going to complain. So when I have executed this one, it has not given me any kind of a error, but it will always try to hold only a single copy for a particular key. So we had XYG over here, we had XYG over here. So whatever update comes in a later stage, right? It will always try to keep that data as a value. Simple. So we had XYG is equal to this tuple and we have XYG is equal to Sudhanshu over here. So as you can see over here that in D1, it is storing XYG is equal to Sudhanshu because that's a latest update. That's the last update, right? But it will always try to keep only a single copy. So key should always be unique in case of dictionary. Getting my point, guys? Everyone? Srinivas is asking, so basically set and dictionaries doesn't support slicing and indexing. No, it's true for set. Dictionary, I'm able to do it, but with the help of dictionaries key, right? Because here indexing means it's a key which plays a role. Okay, so this is what you have to take care of when you are trying to create a dictionary. There is no restriction that you can't keep a duplicate key. You can keep a duplicate key. There is no issue, but system will never store. System will always try to store the latest update single key. So key should always be unique in case of a dictionary. For example, even in Oxford dictionary, right? The dictionary that we used to refer as like in a childhood. So you must have seen that the word is always unique. Meaning could be repeated one many times in a entire dictionary, right? But your words are never going to be the repeated one. Fine. So that's a thing. Now, can we change the key? You can delete the key basically, and we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it in a manipulation with the help of inbuilt function. Now, let's suppose I have xyg is equal to Sudhanshu. Fine. Now, I would like to replace this xyg with Amarendra. We have Amarendra in our class, right? Who is pinging us. So basically, I can try to change this. If I would like to change this name, instead of Sudhanshu, I want Amarendra over here. So what I can do is I can try to access just like a list assignment operation that we have shown you in yesterday's class. So xyg, right? So we have Sudhanshu. I want to replace this Sudhanshu with Amarendra. So not an issue. Equal to what I can write? Amarendra. And then if I'm going to show you D1, changed, right? It has changed. So I will be able to do an item reassignment for a respective key at any point of a time, and I will be able to create an update in any way. If I would like to store a list, or if I would like to store a string, or whatever data I want, I can store it in a easiest possible way. It is never going to, yeah, typo mistake. It's fine. We are able to get a sense of it, right? So, okay. So hope you are able to understand a little bit about dictionary. Okay, now moving ahead. So this is just a definition. I'll again come back to dictionary, list, tuples and set one by one with respect to the inbuilt functionality or inbuilt method. Okay. So with respect to like a inbuilt functionality and method, again I'll come back. So let's go back again to the base. So where we have started string. Let's suppose I have a string S and here I'm going to store Euron, E-U-R-O-N, Euron. Fine. So I have a string S and I'm going to store Euron inside a string. Now, S dot, if I am going to write S dot, right, inside a VS Code, especially if you are going to write S dot, you will be able to see a lot of these things you will be able to see. Now, what is this by the way? What is this by the way, right? So this is nothing but these are the inbuilt method or inbuilt function you can say, which is available inside a Python library. Going forward, we are going to create our own function as well. But these are the inbuilt one which is available inside a Python library. And with the help of these functions, I will be able to do a data manipulation. So with a string, with a list, with a tuples, with a set and with a dictionary. And again, there are so many hundreds of functions which is available. You are not supposed to remember even a single one. Name of these functions are given in such a way that it just looks like a story, right? Just looks like a story. So here, one by one, let me show you some of the function, not all the function, but yeah, some of the function I am going to show you. So let's suppose if I am calling capitalized, there is a function called as capitalized, bracket, bracket, I am going to give. Now, if you are going to hover your mouse, just hover your mouse on top of this function, you will be able to see the definition in a plain simple English. Like I said, you are not supposed to remember anything. So what capitalized is going to do? So when I'm going to call my string S variable, right, which is holding Euron, so my string dot capitalized, when I'm going to call, so what it is going to do? So it is going to return the capitalized version of the string. What is the meaning of it? So make the first character have uppercase and the rest lowercase. I think now you are able to get the sense. Just read out this line. Yeah, read out this line. So make the first character have a uppercase and rest in a lowercase. This is what it is going to return. As you can see, we had everything in a lowercase. But as per the definition, make the first character have a uppercases. So these are some of the functions which has been given to you, and as and when it is required, so you will be able to use it, but no need to remember. Just practice once all the functions and definitions are already given, leave it and forget about it. Okay, so capitalize. As you can see, it has capitalized the very first character, which is E. So it has converted this E into a capital, upper cases. Now there is another function. Fine. So there is a function called as center I am going to call. Now, if you will check the definition, padding is done using a specified fill character. Basically, it tried to do a padding. Now, what is the meaning of padding, by the way? Let me show it to you. So here, let's suppose if I'm giving 50. So here, you will be able to see even a definition. So width, you can try to give one input. So wherever input is required in a signature of, this is called a signature of the function, right? Means what kind of a input it is looking for, or it is not looking for any kind of a input, right? For example, in case of capitalized, it was not looking for any kind of input. See, this bracket is blank, right? This bracket is blank. Fine, it was not looking for any kind of input. It is telling me that call this method, it is going to give you the string, and what kind of a string? This is kind of a string it is going to give you. But here, when you are going to hover your mouse, it is telling me that, okay, I'm looking for some sort of an input. Maybe you can try to give a width, or maybe fill character you can try to give. Now, what is the meaning of width? Let me explain. Let's suppose if I have given 50, execute. Now, just see my screen. Here, it has reserved, it has occupied a 50 spaces. It has occupied basically a 50 spaces in this particular place, and in a center, as a function name suggests, in a center it is keeping my S. S is what? Euron. In a center. So this is what this center does. This is what this center does. So 50 is nothing but the space it is going to occupy, and in a center it is going to put my string. There is another parameter, right? Fill character. So fill character means if I'm going to give maybe a hashtag over here, now you can see it has filled all the other character with hashtag. It has filled all the other spaces with the hashtag. Maybe I can try to give @, maybe I can try to give a static, whatever I want, I can try to give. So it will be able to fill, and you have a control over to it, right? This is what center is doing. So likewise, people have already created a lot of functions, and even going forward, we are going to create a lot of functions based on our need. Because functions is already available inside your chapters, and I'm going to discuss about the functions in a very, very detailed way, because we are going to use all of this function, but majority of time, 90% of the time, we are going to create our own function based on our own custom business logic. But yeah, this is what it is going to perform, s.center, and it is trying to center it. Now let's try to look into another inbuilt function. So another inbuilt function dot, maybe I can try to look for a count function, right? Count function. Now what count does? So basically, let's suppose if I'm going to pass E over here. So how many times we have E inside this string? How many times we have E inside this string? Let's suppose I'm going to repeat the characters, right? So S is this much, right? This is my S. So S is basically this data is basically S now. Now S dot count E. How many times E is there inside this particular string? So E is there twice, as you can see, right? Not just this, not just single character. You can try to even find out substring. So let's suppose if I'm looking for EU, how many times EU is there? EU is there only one time. How many times SU is there? Right? 0 times. There is no SU combination available inside my string. So count is always going to give you the count or occurrence of this substring. So whatever substring you are going to give, right? Maybe a single character or maybe a multiple character, that's completely fine. So this is what count is going to do. So as count suggests, return the number of non-overlapping occurrences of substring in sub. Simple, right? So count is clear, I believe. Like I said, count, I think count name itself is a self-explanatory one. Just by looking into this count as a name, you will be able to understand what this function is going to do. Okay. Now, S dot, there is a function called as find. Okay. Now here, let's suppose I'm looking for maybe a E. It is giving me 0. Now what find does, by the way? So find is going to find a particular data, whatever data that you have given over here, right? Whatever data that you have given, and it is going to return the index. Find, return the lowest index. See, in my data, I have E twice. E is over here, E is over here. It is returning an index of a very first occurrence. It is not returning the index for the second one. For example, if I'm looking for W, right? So W is available at which place? 12th place. If I'm looking for S we have multiple times, but it is going to give you the occurrence or indexes for the very first one. So 8 is nothing but 8 is basically a index of this S. Even you can do it, count it. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Right? So the very first occurrence, for the very first occurrences, it is going to give you the indexes. This is what find does. Now let's suppose if I'm looking for Z. Now Z is not available. Z is not available. Z as a substring or as a character is not available inside my data set. So wherever data is not available, it is going to return you what? -1. Right? It is going to return you what? A -1. Now, return -1 as you can see. -1 on failure. If there is no such data, -1 it will return on a failure. Now there is a find, right? Now S dot index. Now find and index looks like same. For example, if I am looking for E over here, it is again going to return 0. For the very first occurrences, it is going to return the indexes. Again, find was doing the same thing. Index is doing the same thing, right? Find and index is going to do the same thing. Now, what is the difference between then find and indexes? So the simple difference is that let's suppose if I'm looking for Z, so I was looking for a Z in find, it has not given me an error, it was giving me -1. In case of index function, if data is not available, it is not going to give you -1, it is directly going to give you error. It is going to crash your code. And that is the difference between find and indexes. Making sense, guys? Yes? Okay. Now, Amrinder is asking me a question that what is the difference between title and capitalized? Okay, again, very simple answer, like a small differences are there between title and capitalized. So let's suppose we have S is equal to Sudhanshu Kumar Singhs, Sudhanshu Kumar Singh. That's my complete name, right? Now, this is a data. Everything is available in a lowercase. Fine. Now, here, if I'm going to call capitalized, now what capitalized will do? It is going to convert a very first, we have so many data, right? So it is going to convert a very first character into uppercase. As you can see, this is what capitalized does, a very first character, right? Now, if I'm going to call s.title, it is going to convert we have this as a string, this as a string, we have this as a string, as a whole string, right? So in a particular string, after a space, for every character, it is converting it into the uppercase. Making sense, guys? Yes? The difference between title and capitalized. And I believe you all are able to understand difference between indexes and find. Yes? So these are the very, very like a minor differences you all will be able to find out. And again, it's good to know just for once. I'm not saying that you should remember all of those things. No one remembers. No one. Right? But yeah, you should know it at least for once. That's a requirement. Yes. Can you please let us know the real-time scenario, how to choose whether the list, tuple, set or dictionary? I think you will be able to get into a real-time scenario once we are going to finish the ABCD, right? Because back to back, I'm going to show you so many things, like what things we are supposed to use in which situation, what situation. As of now, we are just trying to learn a ABCD, and without ABCD, how you will be able to like build a real-time things? Not possible, right? So just try to focus on learning ABCD. And then I'll be talking about a real time when the actual real time will come. And that time will come obviously as per your syllabus. Now, so capitalized, title. So these are the basic functions which is available. Now, inside a string, you will be able to find out many functions starting with is, right? Now, whatever function starting with is basically going to return you Boolean value, true or false. Means wherever you are trying to check something, right? So over there, you can try to use all of this inbuilt function, or maybe you can try to build it your own in a later stage. But yeah, as of now, we are talking about the inbuilt function, inbuilt method, you can say. So there is a function called, let's suppose, alpha num. Now what it does? So it is going to return you true or false. For what? So here, what was my S? So S is this, right? S was this. Now it is going to check whether, so my data set is having complete alphanumeric or not. No, my data set is having spaces as well. right? Which is neither alpha not numeric. It's a special case character. That's the reason it is giving me what? It is giving me false. Let's suppose if I'm going to take another string s1 and here I'm going to take Euron. Now s1 dot is alpha num. If I'm going to call, it will return me true because it is having either alpha or numeric, right? Either alpha or numeric value. But in case of a special case character, it is going to return me false, as you can see. So is alpha num is going to return true or false, depends upon the cases. S dot is, you can just try to check just for alpha. You can try to check just for alpha. You can check just for lower. So whether all my data set is available in lower case or not, all the data set is digit or not, data set is having a space or not, title or not, uppercase or not. So all of these functions, let's suppose I'm going to check whether this S is a title or not. Title means what? Every first letter should be in an uppercase. That's the meaning of title. That's the meaning of title. We have seen the title function, right? So what is the meaning of title function? Every first character should be a uppercase. No, we don't have a title. S is what? So S is nothing but this particular data, and this, it's not a title, right? So S is, all of this data set is not in uppercase. All of this data, all of these characters are not in uppercase. So it is returning me false. So whatever function starts with is going to return you true or false, true or false. So just try to go through all of these functions once and it just check and then return you true and false. We are going to use it in later stage, but yeah, not all the functions all the time, right? Depends. But yes, these are the inbuilt function which is available inside your string. Now, coming to the list, let's suppose I'm going to create a list over here. And inside a list, I'm going to hold some sort of a data, maybe Python, data, science, something like this I'm going to hold inside a list. Now, even inside a list, you will be able to see inbuilt method. Inside a list, there are very like a limited number of inbuilt method which you will be able to find out. So we have a append, we have a clear, copy, count, extend. So let's try to look into all of this function one by one together, right? So what is the meaning of append, by the way? So append will always try to append a data inside an existing list at the end. That's the meaning of append. At the end, it will try to append the data. For example, if I have to append maybe another list inside a list, okay? Now if I'm going to print L, can I say that it has appended this one in a last? It has appended this list inside list in a very last indexes, right? L dot append, L dot append. And then I can try to call maybe SUDH. Now if I'm going to print L, it has appended SUDH over here, as you can see. So if you're going to hover your mouse, it is giving you a very clear definition. Append the object to the end of the list. Simple. Append the object at the end of the list definition wise. This is what append is going to perform. Now, list dot. There is a function called as clear function. Clear means what? Clear all those things. Whatever is there inside the list, clear it. So L dot clear I have called. Now if I'm going to print L, all the data is gone. All the data, whatever data that we had inside a list, everything is gone. So this is the meaning of a clear. Clear means wipe out all the data set. Okay, let me create a list once again because I have deleted all the data. I have cleared all the data. So let's suppose I'm going to take the same data. Let's suppose I'm going to take the same data. Okay, this is my list, right? This is my list. This is my list. Now L dot. Next function is basically copy function. Try to focus in this particular function, guys. This is very, very important. So I'll try to, just to explain you this copy function, I'll try to give you a situation over here. So I have L1. Now L1 is equal to L. I'm going to write. L1 is equal to L. I'm going to write. It simply means that I'm creating a new variable L1. And the value of this new variable L1 is what? L. Now if I'm going to call L1, this is the data. If I'm going to call L, this is the data. Means in L and in L1, we have the same data because I have assigned L data into L1. I have assigned the same data into L1. Simple. Okay. Now I'm going to create L2 over here. And L2 is nothing but L dot copy. L2 is nothing but L dot copy. Okay. L2 is nothing but L dot copy. Means whatever data that we had inside L list, I'm just trying to copy it inside L2. Now if I'm going to show you L2, same. So L L1, L2. Can I say that all of these three list is holding the exact same data? L, L1 and L2. Yes, everyone? All these three is holding the exact same data, right? All these three is holding the exact same data. For now, at least. Yep. It is holding the same data. And guys, please be active in a chat. And please don't sleep inside a class. If you will keep on typing, if you'll keep on, practicing, obviously you will be able to learn. Now, so we have L, L1 and L2 over here, right? We have L, L1 and L2 in this particular place. Deepak is saying understood. I have not even explained you what I'm trying to explain. How you are able to understand, Deepak? I have just explained you, like I have created a three list. Why I'm creating it, I have not even told you this part. Now I'm going to tell you. Okay, so we have L, L1 and L2 list which I have created. Now, I'll try to make a bit of changes in L1, right? So instead of this 3, so wherever I have 3, so what I want is I want Euron. So how I can do, how I can change it? So L1 of 0, I can write L1 of 0 is equal to what? Euron. Okay. L1 of 0 is equal to Euron. Now if I am going to print L1, it has changed, right? It has changed a value at a index 0. As per this, it has changed the value at index 0. Okay. Now if I am going to show you L, so I have made a changes in L1. As you can see, I have made a changes where? In L1. But it has changed even inside L. It has made a changes even inside L, right? Why? Now, going back. So here, how I have created L1? So I have created L1 is equal, so I have created L1 just by assigning a value of L into L1. Now, what happens internally? So when I write this piece of a code, what happens internally? So let's suppose this is my memory, right? Now this is my list. So list element I have, and now the name of this list was basically L. This was the list. This is the list that we have, and name of this list is L. When I have written this one, L1 is equal to L. When I have written this, L1 is equal to L. At that point of a time, what will happen? So it is going to create a new variable L, new reference L, variable name. Variable name is nothing but reference to a data, right? This is what a variable name is. So L1 it is going to create, and it is going to refer to the same location, to the same data, exact same data, same location, right? Same data, same location, it is trying to refer. So if I am going to make any changes in L1, it will be reflected into L, or if I am going to make any changes in L, it is going to reflect into L1. If I am going to create a data in this way, because now both are focusing on what? Both are focusing on the same location, and both are trying to access the exact same data. So if I am going to change L1, it will change L as well at the same point of a time. Okay, fine. It is going to change L. Now we have L2, right? We have L2. Now we have L2. Now let's try to call L2 and check whether it has changed something into L2 or not. L2. So are we able to see any changes in L2, guys? See, I am able to see a changes into L1. I am able to see a changes into L, right? But are we able to see any changes into L2? Okay, let's do one more thing. In L2, at third location, right? At third location, I am going to allocate a value XYG. Let's suppose XYG. Okay. Now call L2. Yes, in a third location, third index XYG, it has changed. Previously it was 6. Now it has changed to XYG in L2, right? In L2 it has changed. Now check again L1, check again L. When I have made a changes into L2, is it affecting L1 or L? Is it affecting L1 or L? No, it is not affecting L1 and L, right? When I'm trying to make any kind of a changes, or if I'm trying to make any kind of a changes in L1 or L, it is not reflecting into L2, vice versa, right? It is not reflecting into L2. Now again come back to this place. So where we have created L2. So when we were trying to create L2, how we have created L2? So we have written that L2 is equal to L dot copy. Now what is the meaning of this copy, by the way? So inside a memory, basically, inside a memory, let's suppose I had a list. Let's suppose I had a list over here, L, fine. Now I have written this statement. L2 is equal to L dot copy. So what this copy will do, this will copy this entire data into a different location, and my L2 is referring to a complete different location. It's an independent location, not connected with each other. When I'm going to use copy, it's not related to each other. So if I'm going to make changes in L2, it is not going to affect L, or if I'm going to make a change in L, it is not going to affect L2 in any way. Is this phenomena clear to all of us? So what happens when we define with the help of equal to, and what happens when we define with the help of copy? What is the differences between these two? So equal to means refer to the same location. Copy means copy to the next another location in another memory, and then try to do any kind of a manipulation that you want. So this copy, so whenever you are trying to use a copy keyword, in a technical term, it's called as solo copy in a technical way. And the previous one, this one is called as what? Deep copy, DAAP, deep copy. This is called as deep copy, and this is basically called as solo copy. Clear, guys? So what is the difference between deep copy and solo copy? Yes, deep copy means same location, refer to it. Solo copy means separate location with the help of how I can do solo copy? Solo copy I can do it with the help of copy method, inbuilt one, and deep copy means equal to, simple, right? Okay, moving ahead, guys. Fine, moving ahead. Now L dot. So append we are able to understand, clear we are able to understand, copy we are able to understand, count. I think name is sufficient, right? Count. Name is still be sufficient. So count means it will give me the count. So let's suppose I'm looking for 5. How many times we have 5? Right. And if let's suppose I'm looking for a 50. If 50 is not available, it will give me 0. So 0 times. So count is like easy peasy. Then copy we are able to understand, count, append. Then there is something called as extend. Okay. There is something called as extend. So I believe we have already talked about append operation. Yes, we already talked about append operation. So here append means what? So let's suppose if I'm trying to append maybe ABCD, so it will try to append at the end. This is the meaning of append. It will try to append at the end, right? Append at the end. So we have already seen this one. Now L dot extend. Extend is another function. Now what extend will do? Look into this definition. So extend list by appending element from the iterables. Simple, extend list by appending element from the iterables. Now let's suppose I'm going to write over here 7 failed. Let's suppose list dot append and I'm going to write 7. It is not failing. In case of append function, it is not failing. When I'm trying to append just a 7, right? It is not failing. It is able to append. But when I'm going to call same thing, right? See, extend also insert the data, append also insert the data. Both is going to insert the data. Simple. Both are going to insert the data, but the way it is going to insert the data is different. So append means it will be able to append anything, list or string, whatever you can give, you can just insert it. Extend means you should always pass. Let's suppose if I am passing SUDH, right? Now if I'll try to show you the list, SUDH. Can I say that it has separated by each and every character and then inserting it in case of extend? Yes. Append will try to append as it is. But extend, if I have a string, if I'm trying to pass a list, let's suppose I'm passing a list. So L dot extend and I'm going to pass a list. So maybe 3, 4, 5, 7. Now if I'll show you L, can I say that it is not inserting it as a whole list. It is not inserting it as a whole list. It is trying to do what? It is trying to unwrap the data first. Means it is trying to extract a data one by one, and then one by one it is trying to insert. This is what extend does. That's the reason. So if I'm going to give maybe like an integer or floating point number, something like that, it is going to give me error because it's not possible to unwrap it. So you have to give always a iterator or iterable objects. Now, what is the meaning of iterator and iterable object? We will discuss after for loop. As of now, you will not be able to understand. But yeah, in a layman way, if I have to explain you the same thing, right, as we are talking about extend, so a kind of a data which I can unwrap. Integer I can't unwrap, right? Integer is a single entity. I can't unwrap it. But yeah, in a list, it's a collection. I can unwrap it. A string, combination of a characters, I can unwrap it. So I will be able to pass all of this data. That is the difference. Extend will always try to unwrap the data, unravel. We used to say unravel the data, and then it is going to insert the data. Whereas append as it is. Whatever data you are going to give, it is going to append it. Okay, now list dot. List dot. Index. So it will try to give you the indexes just like a string. So let's suppose I'm writing 5. So the very first occurrence it is going to give you. If you have 5 multiple times, it is not going to give you. For the very first occurrence, just like a string, it is going to give you the indexes. So index is again same as a string. Now index we have discussed, extend, append, clear we have discussed, copy we have discussed, count we have discussed. Now let's talk about pop first. Then I'll come back to this one. Pop. Execute. It is popping up 7. Now I'll show you the list. Now again list dot pop. So are you able to get a sense, guys? 6 is gone. Then list dot pop. 5 is gone. See, 5 is gone. So are you able to understand what is the meaning of pop? Yes. What is the meaning of pop? Simple. Popping out the data. Remove and return the item at the indexes. So here, if I'm not giving a indexes, so by default, it will try to remove from the back. Means from the very last data, it will try to remove. Let's suppose I would like to remove a data from a particular index. So from 0th index, I would like to remove Euron. From 0th index, I would like to remove Euron. So what I can do is L dot pop, and then I can try to give a indexes over here. Euron. Now you can go and check list. Euron is gone from the first place. Now maybe I would like to remove this Python. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Python is available at 4th location. So L dot pop. Pop out 4th data. Now check the list. Python is gone. Yeah. Let's suppose I'm looking for a popping out data science. So it's available at 4th location. So L data science is gone. Yes. So pop is nothing but you can try to remove the data by giving a indexes. If you are not giving a indexes inside a pop, right, at what index you have to remove the data, in that case by default it will try to remove the data from a very last indexes. That's it by default. But if you can give a pop. Now competitor of this pop is basically remove. There is a function called as L dot remove. Now what remove does? So here it is giving me an error. So when I was trying to run the pop without giving me indexes, it was not telling me anything. But yeah, here it is giving me error. Now what removes say? So remove a first occurrence of the value. So there is a remove, and let's suppose if I have to remove something. So in case of pop, I was giving the indexes. In case of remove, I can give the exact data. Let's suppose I want to remove SUDH. I can give the exact data that remove SUDH. Now if I'm going to check, SUDH is gone. So remove always try to take the exact data. Pop is going to work based on the indexes. So based on the indexes, you can try to remove, and based on the exact data, you can try to remove as per your need. Simple, right? As per your need, you will be able to remove. Okay, now list dot, there is something called as insert, right? There is something called as insert. Now we talked about append. Again, coming back to append. So if I would like to append anything, so append will try to append it at a last. At a last, append is going to append the data, as you can see. Append is going to append the data in a very last indexes. Now let's suppose I would like to insert a data after 4. After this 4, I would like to insert the data, right? At a particular index, if I would like to insert the data, then append is not going to help me out, because append always try to append in a last. Then there is a function called as L dot insert. So L dot insert over here. Now here I can try to give a data as per the definition, and I can try to give the indexes. So let's suppose I would like to insert it at a first position. So I can try to give a indexes, comma, what data I would like to insert. So maybe I would like to insert this particular list at a first indexes. This particular list I'm trying to insert where? At first indexes. Now if I'll show you this list, see, at a first index, this data is been inserted. So at any particular index, if I have to insert the data, I can use insert function. If I have to insert the data at a very last, I can also use insert function. That's not an issue. I can use append function. Making sense, guys? Yes, all of us? Fine. So, okay. So now these are the functions. I think I have discussed all the function in a list, I believe. I don't think that I have left any functions. Append, clear, I have discussed. Copy, I have discussed. Count, I have discussed. Extend, discussed. Index, discussed. Insert, pop, remove. Okay. Reverse and sort. Reverse, I believe we all are able to get a sense of it, right? Reverse the data. See, reverse the data. So, reverse is not at all a big deal. So, reverse we have already discussed. Now, L dot sort. And again, I can try to do a reverse by using this one as well. Colon, 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 minus 1. Sorry, L of list of colon, colon. Okay, it is treating that as a markdown. Treat as a code. So, it is going to reverse the data. Simple. But this is the temporary one. This is basically a temporary one. If you have to hold the data permanently, if you have to persist it, then you have to store it in some of the variable. Now there is something called as L dot sort. Basically, sort will try to sort the data, but it will give you the error if we don't have a comparable data. Means it is trying to perform a sorting in ascending order, and sorting happens based on the comparison, right? So we have a list over here, we have a string over here. So we have so much of combination, and because of that, it is not able to perform the sorting operation. If we have a homogeneous data, same kind of a data, then obviously it will be able to perform the sorting operation. For example, if we have something like this, we have execute L1 dot sort. Now, if I'll look into L1, the data is sorted in ascending order. Yeah, data is sorted in ascending order. You can pass even a string over here, combination of strings, and it will be able to sort the data into a alphabetical order. So you can try to check this out. So now I believe I have discussed all the functions: sort, append, clear, count, reverse. Everything is discussed now, right? Everything is discussed now. So all the list inbuilt methods are clear. Now moving ahead. Tuples. So let's suppose I have a tuple T, and I have a couple of data set inside this tuple: 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0, 2, 3, 4. Right? Now, tuples dot. There are only two functions by default. Only two methods inbuilt. Two methods are available. One is count, one is indexes. Now, this method is exact same as a list method. Even in list, count means give me a count of a particular data set. Index means give me the index of a first occurrence of the data. Right, guys? Everyone? Count and index, I believe we have discussed about it in a string, in a list. So same is going to happen even in case of a tuple. Yes, everyone? Please ping me in a chat. Okay, everyone, yes. Be active, guys, and keep coding. Like I said, so maybe you can go ahead and if you're facing any kind of a difficulties, so I'll always recommend to coding learners in general. So those who are trying to learn coding or any tech things, please keep two screens. One is your main screen, one is your like a side screen. And in a side screen, you can play the lecture. In a main screen, you can try to do a coding. So in this way, things will be in sync. Please do it. You'll find it like a very, very comfortable, and you will be able to learn in a better way. Okay, so find count and index, same as your string and list. Now, set. Let's suppose I'm going to create a set. I believe I already had a set. No, I don't have a set. Let's suppose S2, let's suppose I'm calling. Okay, so this is the set that I have, S2, let's suppose, and this is the data. Fine. Now set dot. There are so many functions which is available over here. Let's try to talk about some of the functions. So set dot add. Now add means what? Add the data. Simple, as the name suggests, add the element in the set. So here add it, set S2, right? So it is able to add 345, as you can see, and randomly it will try to add anywhere, because set is a unordered collection, right? If you are trying to add a data which is already available, it will never give you an error, but it will not add, because set always keeps the unique element. Now S2 dot. Clear means clear the entire things. Copy means same as list. Then S2 dot. So these functions are basically same function. Pop, I believe we all know. Remove, I believe we all know. We have already discussed about it. So these are the major function which is available over here. And any function, right? Any function that you're trying to implement, just hover the mouse and you will be able to get what it means, right? What it is going to do. So S2 dot clear, fine, clear it out. Now there is no set data. Now coming to the dictionary, let's suppose dictionary D1 I have. This is the D1 dictionary that I have. Now dictionary D1 dot. Clear, copy, I think we are able to understand. Now let's talk about keys and items, because keys and items function you are going to use it again and again. Pop, we already know. Pop item means a particular item you have to remove, then you can use pop item. So keys, it will give you the list of all the keys. Dictionary dot keys means key is what? 0, XYZ, true, copy, class. So it is going to give you list of, this is the list of all the keys. If I have to look into the proper list, maybe I can try to call list. I'll do a typecasting and I will be able to see the complete list over here. See, list of the key. By default, it's a list. By default, it's a list. You can do the iteration. So in the next class, I'm going to show you how to do an iteration. But yeah, by default, you will be able to do the iteration operation over here. Simple. So dictionary dot keys. Now similarly, we have dictionary D1 dot values. It will going to give you all the values, list of all the values. See, list of all the values it is going to give you. This is what it does. Then there is something called as dictionary dot items. Items means key and value pair in a tuples format, list of tuples. So as you can see, this is the key, this is the value inside the tuple, and this tuple is available inside the list. Let me clean this up. So maybe I can try to do a typecasting over here. List. So here, list of tuples, right? With the key value pair. This is one of the tuple, this is one tuple, this is another tuple, this is the another tuple, this is the another tuple, right? This is the another tuple. Now every tuples you will be able to find out key and value, key and value, key and value. And I think we all know, if I had to remove one of these things, how I can remove it. Indexing slicing, simple, because it's a list. By default, it's a list. So I will be able to perform indexing slicing operation and I will be able to access all of these data out of it. Very simple, right? So keys, values and item, these are the things that you are going to encounter frequently. Now dictionary D1 dot pop, execute. Now it is giving me an issue. In case of list, it was not giving me any kind of a issue when I was calling a pop by default, because from the very last index, it is able to pop up the data. It was able to remove the data. But in case of dictionary, when you are trying to call pop, you can't pass a blank pop over here. So you have to give a key, then it is going to pop out the respective value. Now if I'm going to check what is D1, it has removed what? This data. So whatever key that we have given, it has removed a particular respective value of it, right? Now, so dictionary D1, then maybe I can try to talk about a pop item. So here, pop item, so it will try to remove the item at the end. So let's suppose if I'm going to give this one, pop item this. No. Yeah. So pop item from the very last, it is removing it. So just like a pop with no argument works in case of a list, it is working in case of a dictionary. Now there is something called as dictionary dot update. So update is nothing but it is going to update the data. So here I can try to pass maybe a key value pair. So I can try to pass company and company India. Yeah. So as a dictionary, I'm trying to pass company India means key and value pair. Now, if I'm going to call D1, it has added company India. So if I have to add a new key value pair, I can use a update over here so that I will be able to update a dictionary, right? I will be able to update a dictionary in this particular way. Now, let's suppose I don't want to use update function. It's fine. Without even using update function, you can add a new key value pair. How? Let me show you. So D1 bracket, right? Give any queue name, any new key name. So BNM, let's suppose I'm giving, and this is the key, and basically this key doesn't even exist, is equal to this data. So this operation, I am trying to do it manually, and this operation I'm trying to do it with the help of inbuilt method. Both is going to work, both, right? So you can try to create an update even by using this, or maybe by using a update function. In general, I prefer to use this one. Now, who remembers the inbuilt function? No one's, right? So we don't have to like mug up all those things and by heart all those things. So I just follow this particular approach where I don't have to remember anything. And again, it's the same process. Can we pull out all the key items? Yes, we can pull out, right? Dictionary D1 dot keys. Dictionary D1 dot keys. It will give you the list of all the keys. See? If you're looking for items, then dictionary dot items. If you're looking for both, dictionary dot, sorry, if you're looking for both, dictionary dot items. If you're looking for just a value, you can say dictionary dot values. If you're just looking for a keys, you can write dictionary dot keys. Simple. In this way, you can try to write it down. Fine, Anil? No, so never remember any function. None of my class so far, since last 7 to 8 years, so like the day when I started teaching, I've never asked a single person to remember even a single line of a code or a function, because you will get used to it. Like I said, you have to train your fingers basically, and automatically your fingers. See, it's like whenever I'll ask you to write something on pen and paper by using a pen and paper, right? Write something. So do you think before writing? So whatever I will say, you will keep on writing it, right? Your hand will work automatically. Now, same thing happens with the code. We are just using a keyboard instead of copy and pen, right? So we have to train ourselves. Learning a programming, people say that learning a programming is like learning a logic and all those things. All those things are just a bullshit. Nothing. Just train your fingers, your brain, so that in sync it will be able to work automatically. Then you can claim yourself as a programmer. Yes, that's the reason. So in my live classes, I keep on saying everyone that type with me. Simple, type with me. And it will solve almost all the problems. Okay, fine guys. So I believe it's a time now, and it's time for like your classwork. So I have already prepared a classwork. So this is your classwork, guys, from a string, from a list, from a dictionary, and from a tuples. So this is basically a classwork which I'm giving it to you for today's class. Do not use AI system, whether it's a Euron Assist, whether it's a Chat GPT, whether it's a Gemini, whether it's a Cloud, Perplexity, whatever. You are just learning as of now. And I want you to train your fingers. That's it. Right? Now, try to use this, make a mistake, right? And then maybe if you are not able to do it, then start looking into those solutions. But do not copy and paste this question directly. You will be able to get an answer. But yeah, what is the use of it? There's no meaning of giving you this homework. at the end, right? If you will be able to, if you are solving it with the help of like a GPT or Euron Assist or something, right? So this is something that you have to do on your own. Please share the assignment in a chat as well. Yeah, so some of you are facing an issue with respect to our downloads of these files. So what I will do is I'm sharing it this file with all of you in a Python, in a zip format. So Python English batch, these are the file. So let me zip it. Now you will be able to download it directly. So let me share this file. Downloads, documents. Okay. So now guys, you have a file in your chat and same file will be reflected inside your resources as well, right? Same file you will be able to see inside the resources in a later stage. So I believe you are able to access the file guys and you are able to download. Yes. So unzip it and all the files will be available over here. Even yesterday's file will be available, is available over here. And whatever like assignment which I have given you yesterday, it will be available. And even whatever I have discussed in today's class, it is available. So please check. Send the last week file also. All the files I have sent in a zip, all the files are available. So far, whatever discussion I have done, so I have zipped the entire folder and I have shared with you. So all the files are available in the same single folder. Okay, any question for me guys? Any question? Okay, Munir, everyone is able to download, fine. Yeah. Any question for me? Please ask me a question. Then I'll wind up the class. Your teaching style is unique, sir. No one else teaching like this. It's very interesting, sir. Thanks for the super easy explanation. Thank you. Yeah, see, teaching and all those things is fine. Like as a teacher, what I always believe is I should push my student not just to learn something, because since our childhood, since the KG class, we are just learning. We are reading out the books, taking out the notes, and at the end of the day, uh, when we are coming into a real world, we got to know that it's not working, right? I'm not able to get the job. I'm not able to compete. What is the reason? The reason is none of those learning was a practical one, right? We have learned physics, chemistry, mathematics, geography, everything. But at that point of a time, we were not able to relate those learning, right? We were not able to relate those learning with a real time experiment, you can say, or with a reality. You're not able to relate. Means learning was going on in the different track and the reality was in a different track. Like both of these tracks are in parallel, which is not going to intersect anywhere in the future, right? And because of that, most of us are struggling. Most of us, even I have struggled in my initial days. So when like 10 year back, now it's been 10 year, 1 decade for me just inside the industry. But yeah, all of us have struggled a lot. And the only reason is like a practical alignment, right? And alignment with the reality. So again, when I'm teaching over here, so I'm not teaching over here just to make someone's happy. I'm teaching over here so that you will learn, you will be able to implement it, and you will be able to get something out of it in your life at the end of the day. And that is going to happen when I'm going to force you, when I'm going to push you very hard to do something on your own. Believe me guys, doesn't matter how good I am going to teach. Maybe I can answer the same question 10 times or 20 times, right, repeatedly. Nothing, believe me, nothing means nothing is going to help you out unless and until you are not sitting on your chair for a very long hour and you are not doing something. Believe me, none of these things are going to help you out. Not even my teaching, believe me. To be very honest. Yes? So, at the end of the day, it's you versus you, and you have to take a charge of it. You have to sit for a long hour, at least for some time. I'm not saying that you have to sit for a long hour for like an entire life. No, not at all. For a couple of months. But yes, you have to do it. Then you will be able to see that things have started changing. You have started changing yourself, and your entire life has changed. So this is how, I used to motivate any of my students, so that and again, so since last 7 to 8 year I'm teaching, and yeah, there are like not just one or two, the number is in tens of thousands. And I think you all are aware about me. So I had a company called as Euron. I have established as a founder, and then I sold that company to Physics Wala in 250 crore last year in 2022 December. So I took a break for almost 1.5 year, enjoyed a life, and then again I was getting bored. So I said, okay, fine. So let's build again something, and let's teach, because I enjoy teaching. Simple. I'm just like enjoy interacting with my students, and I love when students, they try to put a hard effort from their side instead of expecting and hand holding. Rajendra is saying 250 crore. Yes, it's 250 crore. You can go and check on Google as well. You will be able to get. Just check Sudhanshu Kumar Physics Wala, Sudhanshu Kumar. This time I will not sell, so I'm trying to build it for a very, very long time. But yeah, valuation will maybe, I don't know. Let's not talk about it. Let's talk about this in the future. I think it's too early. But yeah, I need your support as well. See, even in Ainuron, so it was a student support. It was a student who has worked very, very hard. So they have worked day and night, and they were able to secure a job. And because of that, we got name and fame and publicity and everything. See, teachers are nothing unless and until my students are not going to crack a job, my students are not going to achieve something in their life, I'm nothing. Teachers are nothing, right? My responsibility is not just to come in this class and teach you something, some topics. No. My responsibility is to show you the path where you will be able to find your ultimate goal, your ultimate destiny. This is where teachers comes into a picture. Otherwise, anyone can come and teach you this line of Python code. I'm not required over here, right? Because anyone can come. Like, I'm not the only one who know Python. There are lakhs and lakhs of people, like teachers, who knows Python. But that is not my job. My job is show you the path, push you very, very hard to achieve something in your life. That's my job. This is what I understand. And this is what I have done in last 7 to 8 years. And this is where, like, even I was able to see a little bit of teeny tiny success, you can say. Acquisition of company, raising a fund for my previous company and all those things. Taking a break, peaceful break for 1.5 year, right? Spending a lot of time with family, all those things. And now again, I'm back with teaching. So yeah, just try to work hard. Gen AI and ML ops are more advanced. See, nothing is advanced or like hard. Try to attend, try to join. Maybe in a day one, you will not be able to understand. That's fine. But at least you will get to know about some of the words, right? Some of the buzzwords. So nothing is, believe me, nothing is easy or hard. Not even a single technology is easy and hard. No, for anyone, even person who is coming from a complete non-tech background, right? Yeah, it looks difficult in a day one. Obviously, it looks difficult. Right now, if I'll start studying quantum computing, right? I have a lot of interest in quantum computation and the mathematics part of it and derivation part of it. So when I'll start exploring quantum computation, obviously it will look hard to me. But once I start studying, once I spend enough amount of time with quantum computation, I can understand. That's it. So nothing is easy, nothing is hard. It's just like you have to spend some time with it, and things will look easy after that. Okay, fine guys. So that's enough of motivation for today. See you again in my next class, which is going to happen on the same time, Saturday and Sunday. I have given you the coursework. Try to complete it without taking any kind of help from any kind of a AI, right? AI should be your last stop in terms of solving a coursework. Once you will be pro in a coding, then start using it. We all use it. Believe me. I use nowadays I'm using Google. Instead of Google, I use like a GPT or maybe Euron Assist in general. So nowadays I'm using Euron Assist so that I will be able to test my own system, and then I can get even an answer, right? So simple. So fine guys, with that, thank you so much. See you again. Take care. Bye bye everyone. Bye.